Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of A Recipe for Adventure. I'm your host, Freebowitz, and joining me today is someone new. As of like 10 years ago, it's Sai. Sai, say hello.
Bonjour.
10. That's upsetting me, and I don't know why. Why would you do this? Why would you upset me in such a way?
Well, as soon as you said someone new, I'm like, it's French me today.
Yeah, but I was
And then
trying.
I just stuck with it.
Yeah, but we've known each other for like 10 years, I think.
Yes.
At least as you were new 10 years ago. You're not new now. At least not
Yeah,
to
but
me.
as soon as you said someone new, immediately I knew that I wanted to do either a funny accent or, a different language as soon as you asked me to say hello.
How dare you? All right. So, my question for you today is
Mm-hmm.
we've both been dungeon masters and we both had players do things that we did not expect, right? It happens all the time. What is your proudest uh improv improv that you've done based on player unpredictability?
Proudest improv
Hmm.
based on player unpredictability.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Something
Because if it was just proudest improv,
if
I know
it
what that would be.
like a
But
character or something.
based,
Yeah.
yeah, based on player unpredictability,
Mm.
that's an interesting one. Because it's the player unpredictability part that you gotta like as time goes on, it becomes harder and harder to rationalize and remember what it was that the players did as something unexpected,
Hmm.
and it just becomes part of the overall narrative, right?
Because oh, you know what? Yeah, that is a bit of unfair question based on that idea because you kind of expect your players to do their own thing sometimes.
Yeah, and there's always that level of yes, I remember these jokey parts that occurred.
Okay,
Um,
I suppose then we could expand that question to say what was your favorite moment of improvisation? Like you
well,
didn't.
if it's just,
Yep.
if it's my favorite moment of improvisation,
Okay.
it's technically and I mean, sure, we can even say that it was. I was not expecting to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting to do it for that long,
Mm-hmm.
but I was doing a campaign,
Okay.
and I'm like, okay, guys, you have a bit of downtime, so you can take a job or like pursue a hobby, try to craft something. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the players is like, I want to try to help out around the city, kind of like a detective.
So
I'm
you
like, okay,
literally
that's
had to
cool.
come up with a mystery.
Oh, it gets worse.
What do you mean
But
it gets
I, I'm,
worse?
I'm like, okay, I'll come up with something for you. And I'm like, it's like, how do you want me to describe this to you? And it's like, oh yeah, could you do it kind of maybe a noir style?
Oh my god, I think I remember you doing this.
It definitely wasn't with you, but I might have told you the story about
No.
me having to do it.
Yeah, I know I wasn't there. This was with our other DM
Hmm.
friend, if I remember correctly, you telling me. But anyways,
Uh,
please
I,
continue.
I, I was DMing at the time.
Oh, I know, but
Um,
I mean
yeah.
anyways, go on.
So I start just narrating a situation.
Hmm.
The girl noir detective, you're sitting in the office, and then this blonde bombshell walks in. That sort of tears in the eyes, but holding herself back. I go on full describing, and I set the scene. I finish setting the scene. I'm like, cool. What do you want to do? And then The player looked at me and said, "I want you to keep narrating." And I'm like,
I want you to narrate this just as you did back then. I am gonna put smooth jazz music and rain in the background as you do this, just so you know.
Okay, fine. So, there she was, blonde bombshell. She might have been a half-elf. It's hard to say for sure. The pointy ears, not on her, but that sharp jawline. It was easy to know she was someone prim and proper. She took good care of herself, but she seemed distraught. Asked me to find someone. I knew I should ask, shouldn't get my hopes up. Turns out, her sister had gone missing. Been gone for 3 days now. No signs of her return. No note of ransom. And in a city like this, people don't go missing. Not often. Not for good reason. So I sat down, brewed her a small drink, and asked for the details of where she last was. She told me she last saw her as she sent her off for a small little play at the club. One of the local clubs. A small place called the Axe Town Hangout. Not the most reputable place, but definitely one that garnered a lot of more shady attention. Brought in, however, a lot of gold. Seems that she was part of the play. Not the lead actress, but one of the supporting characters. Seems she went to do her part and returned that night later in. It's hard to say. Did she offend someone during the play? Did she even turn up? Seems that my dear customer had asked, but she never got an answer. That's where I come in. I packed up my gear, grabbed my axe, and made my way downtown. I said I'd do it for free. That's what I do in the city. I'm a good Samaritan, helping those out who need help. So I made my way down to the club. It was a dreary day. Clouds in the sky, raindrops falling down, fresh autumn rain. Lost my footsteps and lost the footsteps of everyone around me. But the people in this area of town, they minded their own business. So I thought to myself, how long am I going to be doing this? How long am I going to be doing this narration? I stared at my player and he said, keep going. And I narrated for a full hour noir detective story as someone else's character. And I've narrated this far too long, or this entire episode will just be me narrating this.
I gotta say, like, there's tons of horror stories on the internet where the DM essentially makes a, like, cinematic and, like, bores the hell out of all the players, right? But this was literally, like, self-inflicted, I want to say, but they enjoyed it, and they literally asked for it.
It was a full hour of me narrating this noir detective story of someone else's character going on a case and solving it.
What the hell? Guys? Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, yeah, I can see why you'd be proud of that improv moment. You literally have to improv.
Yeah, it's like I had to remember all the details while making them up on the spot while narrating in the noir style.
It's so dumb and I love it. Every single moment. Oh my god. What the hell? Okay. Let's bring it back down to normal. I don't think my improv is as impressive of what you just did. But one of my first campaigns, this was back when I think it was 3.5, yeah, something like that. Uh, Players were just going through a dungeon, fighting goblins, the usual thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was one goblin that was giving all the players a big problem. Like, they just kept rolling ones against the thing, like literal nat ones, and the goblin was getting nat 20s against them. And at one point, one of the players said, okay, we're just doing really bad on our rolls, but hang on. I've got this ability that lets me push away enemies, and there's no save involved. It just pushes them. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess you're like just ignoring luck now, or misluck. So he pushes them off like the side of a balcony, and they're like, okay, we got him. So they start looting the corpses, and it just comes to me, hang on. They didn't check to see if the goblin died or not. They just knocked him off the side of the balcony. And I just kept that little nugget to myself. And eventually, like when they finished the dungeon, they came back down. It's like, oh, by the way, you see like a puddle of blood, but no goblin corpse. And then the players started panicking. And eventually I did have the goblin come back. I want to say his name is Skrunk, but I know it's not. And the only reason why I say his name is Skrunk is because that's the name of the goblin you have in your campaign that's reoccurring. And it's just stuck in my head now. But whatever the goblin's name is, and we're just going to use Skrunk as the stand-in for now, that goblin was a menace to the players ever since. Just getting lucky rolls and such like that. And keep in mind, this is like, goblins are like CR point, 5 or something?
They're usually pretty weak.
Yeah, they're pretty weak. That like, I'm pretty sure the players were like level 3 when they ran into it again. And the goblins still annoyed the shit out of them. And they got rid of them like basically the same way, except this time they launched them off like a cliffside into the ocean. Spoiler warning, it did not kill the goblin.
It's into water. It's not going to kill anything.
Right? Like, mechanically speaking, D&D might say it does, but I say through the power of like cinematography or whatever you want to call it, or narrative power, no, the goblin survives another day. Here's where the silly part comes in. I decided to give this goblin a proper stat block, and then they managed to actually kill it outright. Like, pretty damn reasonably easy, all things considered. I'm like, the moment I decide to add numbers to this thing is when its luck turned against it. It's like, the universe wanted like the weakest thing to cause as much problems as possible. And the moment I decide to like back it up with the real numbers, universe was like, nah, you don't need me anymore. It's just the way of things.
But the dice tell a story, and I love going with the story that the dice start to tell and just running with it.
So, as far as I'm aware, we've done the library, we've done the marketplace, we've done the blacksmith, we've done the tower, we've kind of done the walls, we've done the temple, and of course, we've done the theater. Unless I missed something, I think we've done everything we need to do before we head into the temple. Is that right?
Not quite. Not quite.
Well, what am I missing?
So we've got all the locales.
Yeah.
And I think we still need to show off what the theater looks like with me having like made it in Dungeon Draft.
Oh yes.
So there's that.
Beautiful.
But also,
yeah,
we still need to do the random encounters for traveling around Kraken's Paw.
Oh, random encounters, of course.
Because, if we're going to have random encounters where Milky White could turn up, we need to have random encounters where Milky White could turn up.
Makes sense. Before we do the random encounters, I do want to explain to the people watching the little changes in design. So originally we were going to make the stage a bit more curved. So why did we make it more rectangular again?
It's just so that it made more logical sense with the way that the chairs kind of curved around on the bottom side. Because they start facing more towards inwards.
Yeah.
It made less and less sense for the stage to be wide.
Because and then
and so
I think we had like with the VIP seats and stuff like that, we
Mhm.
didn't want them like twisting their heads too much and such like that from side to side.
Yeah,
They just wanted a nice, good cone looking at stuff.
yeah. So
Cone
I focused the stage into the center,
Mm.
and I think it works out pretty well.
And then we had the little trap door that we were talking about behind the stage because the stage is elevated, and that's where they can get their air and stuff like that.
Yep.
Which I really liked and enjoyed. And it's a bit hard to see, so I'm just going to zoom in. You'll see some of the blue moss I was talking about on the doorways and such like that. I really liked how you adapted that in.
Yep.
Okay. So, on to the random encounters. Kraken's Quell, random. I think we made this previously, this map.
So this like little table over the left hand side is just copy and pasted from the Cove and Tunnels encounter.
Wait,
Just
which table are you talking about?
the one on the left. For the are you on the random encounters table for the Sunken City of Kraken's Pearl?
Oh, I'm in Kraken's Pearl random as in the map, but yes, I've got the random encounter table open now. Sunken City.
Yes.
Yeah, now I've got that open now.
Yep.
So I kind of want to. So we've got the Cove Tunnel entrance. Yep, casuals. So I'm thinking like instead of making it 1 to 8, I want to be a bit more. What's the word? Ambitious. How about
Larger in scale or smaller in scale?
larger scale? I want to make
Okay.
it a roll of our D100, but of course we don't have to make it like 100 different encounters. We can do the classic thing of, oh, there's a good chance that you'll find nothing. So
Yeah. Maybe like 0 to 31.
well,
Or
1 to 31.
1 to 31. Yeah.
Is nothing is found. Okay, okay, so on a success. Okay, so I want to change the wording on like players rolling a DC 14 check, right?
Yep.
And like the failure. Okay, so players roll a DC 14 survival check for each point above 14. Players may choose to add or subtract the number from the table below, so they get to choose essentially for each point.
So if you get a 19, you can add or subtract 5 from your result.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sometimes it may not make a difference, but
we can.
Yeah. Okay. For each point below 14, the DM may choose to add or subtract the number from the table below. Not made. May. Okay.
So when we can have encounters that are just like, there's some brightly colored fish swimming by. But in terms of enemy variety, I have a general idea of what I already want to do.
Oh.
Because we introduced a couple of we introduced some new enemies in the temple, right?
Oh,
the quippers and the seaweed blights.
Okay, so maybe 32 to say 36.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like wait, no, to 37. That's 5 to 5. So they can choose to opt out of that encounter if they roll a 19, essentially.
Yep.
All right, so you want like a swarm of quippers, essentially?
Yeah, I think just one swarm of quippers should be fine.
Okay, let me just try and find the temple so I can show players on a map just to remind them what they look like, and myself, to be honest. Yeah, they're literally just piranhas.
Yeah.
Swarm of quippers. A swarm of quippers attack the players. You know what? 38 to 40. I have an idea. A swarm of, and I see I've misspelled of before. Swarm.
Yep.
Of quippers are feasting upon a let's see, upon the remains of an aquatic beast. Add one to the milky white table. So, okay, let's see. Roll on this day every time random count table is rolled. Add an additional 1 to the roll for each player. Yep, okay. So that way, it's more likely milky white will turn up, sort of thing.
Yep.
Alright, so let's do 41 to, say, 45.
Yep.
Relatively rarish. Alright, what do we do for this one? Or do we want to make it a bit more common?
Well,
we've got
we'll do the same. We'll do the same for the seaweed blights that we just did with the quippers, right?
Okay.
Well, at least like 5% chance for seaweed blights to be encountered.
Okay, I've got an idea for the seaweed blights then. So 46 to 50, so that's like a 9% chance. All right. Players find some small treasure in the middle of the street. What are the sea blights DC to hide?
So that's where things get fun. Seaweed blights, their stealth is like non-existent.
Oh, do they have that rule that they can pretend to be like seaweed?
Yeah. While the blight remains motionless, it is indistinguishable from a tangle of seaweed.
Oh. It is surrounded by 1d4 seaweed blights that are indistinguishable from bundles of seaweed. They will attack the players if they get too close. So, small treasure. Do we want to like actually determine what that is? I'm pretty sure the Dungeon Master's Guide has like a table for this sort of thing.
Yeah, it has a table for individual treasures.
Like individual small treasures.
Yeah.
What page would that be? It's like 250 something usually, isn't it?
I think the individual treasures is actually at the start of the treasure section.
Bit earlier. Okay, so it's closer to...
yeah, individual treasure is page 136.
Oh, wow. Okay, I was way off. 136. Because, yeah, I want something...
The treasure section is very large, so...
I mean, D&D, yeah, I can see why. So we don't need anything too big. We just want something that will make players go, ooh, I want to risk that. Or, ooh, piece of candy, I want to pick that up. So
we can either have like a small box containing some coins, or slightly above we have like the art object section.
What's the challenge rating of these sea blights again?
So the sea blights aren't too strong. Their challenge rating is 1/2, but they can grapple and restrain people while they're underwater.
Okay.
And so their actual level of danger is a lot higher if you're not close to bubbles.
Do we wanna say that it's still worth the challenge 0 to 4 treasure?
Well, I was thinking, why don't we, instead of doing the individual treasure of 1 to 4, which might get you like maybe 100, like 100 gold pieces,
Mhm.
instead, so like one page up, there's 250 GP art objects.
One page up. I don't wait. Oh, I see. One page back. You mean? Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, back, yes.
Okay.
Um, yeah, 250 GP art objects, and we just be like, it's like the large gold bracelet.
Oh, man, that's a big jump for between 25 and 250 GP. What level are the players now? Level 4. So them finding this stuff is pretty normal, would you say?
Like for a trapped treasure,
Yeah.
I'd say it's fine.
Okay. Okay. Um.
Because like a treasure hoard, um, like the level 0 to 4 treasure hoard is unlikely to have an art object of this scale,
mm,
but this is a trap, so
yeah.
I think it's fair.
DMG.
And you want something that's worth it, right?
Sure.
Worth
Okay.
the risk.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, players find some small treasure, 250 GP art object, DMG 1C5, in the middle of the street. It is surrounded by 1d4 seaweed blights that are indistinguishable bundles of seaweed. They will attack the players if they get too close. Okay. 1d4 seaweed blights are actively attacking a single quipper. Single doomed quipper. Hehehe. Add 1 to the milky white table. There we go. So there's a 50-50 chance essentially that we'll fight something small or find nothing. Like
Yeah.
relatively weak enemies. So now we can get on to the rarer, bigger stuff, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you have anything in mind for an encounter?
Well, we are we're underwater.
Yeah,
Milky White is the big alpha shark of the section.
yeah.
We can have like maybe a hunter shark or two.
Oh. So 51 to say 55?
Yep. I'd say one hunter shark should be fine.
Players are being stalked by a hunter shark.
Yep.
And what is a hunter shark's like stealth?
A hunter shark stealth. Uh, like they're not trained in it, so it would be basically +1.
Okay. Perception DC 11 to avoid being attacked. Wait, to avoid being surprised attacked.
Yeah.
There we go. So they're just trying to like catch him off guard. It's like, hey, everybody, roll perception. None of you make it? Bad luck. You get surprised attacked by the hunter shark. Or, okay, you guys see the big shark coming this way really easily. Either way. Alright, 56 to 60. Do we want more wildlife, you think?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be hilarious to have like crab attack squad.
Crab attack squad? Like giant crabs?
Well, yeah, we have some giant crabs. We used them earlier on at the lighthouse, right?
I do remember that, yep. In fact,
It'd be hilarious to have like 6 giant crabs just come like after you.
Yeah. Do we want to make them try to ambush the players as well?
Um, I think it'd be more hilarious if they just like in the middle of the way they start just waving their pincers at you and then start charging sideways at you.
All right. Okay, you know what? Okay. 6 giant crabs with a small swarm of what's the word for something that doesn't matter? Like a single word for something that doesn't matter.
I'm not too sure what we're trying to get to in terms of words.
Unimportant synonyms. Insignificant, inconsequential.
Yeah, okay.
With a small swarm of inconsequential baby crabs. Basically, what's the word? Line the street, block the way forward. The giant crabs snap their claws menacingly. Anyone who gets too close, players may choose to avoid this encounter, but the awkward detour means they must re-roll the survival check at disadvantage. What do you think of that?
I like it. It's like you can avoid the crabs, but you're going to have problems for your next encounter potentially.
Because like they have to like go around it in
Detour.
like a weird way.
Yep.
Okay.
So, do we want to have some of like the regular Sahagin warriors?
Yeah.
Because we had some ambush you in the ambush like Chrisfield in the temple.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
feel like we should probably have some here as well.
Fanatical Swaha I'm gonna have to copy and paste this one day.
Sahugagin.
Fanatical Sahagin warriors attack the players loudly, announcing their presence and their dislike of landwalkers. It's clear that they came from... Dang it, I forgot what the place is called now.
Astronopolis?
Castronopolis. From Castronopolis. I can spell Castronopolis fine. It's a fictional word we made up. How can I not figure out Sahagin? 66 to 70. Yep, what's up?
Well, how many Sahagin warriors? I'd say like 2.
2d6 maybe? 2d4?
Or just 2. I think just 2 is fine.
Okay. 2.
Yep.
Yeah,
because like we don't want to have too many like super dangerous fights.
No.
While we're going around, and like the Sahagins, it's like the big part of this is the threats of Milky White. In most cases,
and he'll be like the big fight.
Yeah, like the Quipper Swarm could be bad. The Seaweed Blights, if like there's 4 of them, could be a huge problem. But you don't want to do anything too dangerous, except for like maybe 1 or 2 results.
Okay, that makes sense. So maybe a giant octopus in 66 and 70?
Yeah, we got the giant octopus there in the area. Just 1 of them should be fine.
Okay. A giant.
Because, like, once again, it's like it being able to grapple you while underwater is really good for it.
Tries to ambush party. And let me just double check what their DC for sneaking is, because if I remember correctly, they're actually not too bad. Ooh,
Yeah, no, they have
+5.
+5 to stealth. Yeah.
So DC 15. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perception DC 15 to avoid being grappled. Okay. 71 to... Like, a lot of these creatures are things that the players have, like, run into before as well. Do we want to
Yeah.
put something, like,
New.
weird or interesting? Like, maybe a swarm of jellyfish, so something they don't necessarily fight, per se.
Well, yes.
Something they
Like,
avoid.
We've got up to this point. We've put in a bunch of stuff that we've seen before. I think a couple of, like, new cool environmental things.
Oh, environmental things. Okay, yep. In that case, I've got an idea. The ground shakes, and spurts of flaming debris shoots from the surrounding area. Players must make a DC, let's say 12 reflex save.
Dexterity.
Thank you. Dex save, or take 2d6 fire damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Area. Okay, so something like just immediately they must be careful with.
Yeah. And I like your idea of, like, you know, a small thing of, like, there's a swarm of jellyfish that just block the path. Like, roll again on the encounter table as you have to take another.
There's a swarm of jellyfish barring the way. Players may choose to take, let's say, 3d4 damage to continue forwards, or make a long detour and reroll on this table. We won't even make it at disadvantage. Actually, do we want to do the same for the crabs? Just reroll the survival check?
I would make it like I wouldn't give him disadvantage.
Yeah, so just
It's
reroll the
less
survival
awkward.
check.
Yeah.
Okay. Reroll.
I would also say it is 3d for poison damage.
Yes. Okay.
From, like, the jellyfish stingers.
Okay. And reroll the survival check unless players have a way of avoiding / getting rid of the jellyfish. So if they have, like, I don't know, big AoE thunder spells, like lightning spell, I could, like, as a DM say, yep, you get rid of the jellyfish or scare them off.
Yeah.
Okay. 81 to 85. I think maybe one more environmental type sort of thing would be fun.
Well, how about just, like, local fish swarming area?
Oh.
Where it's just a huge school of fish.
A huge swarm school of fish suddenly appear as if trying to escape from something. Their numbers block out the light. and the surrounding terrain. If players are floating, then they even block out the ground, isolating each person from one another. Something dangerous is approaching. Add 2 to the milky white table.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was planning to go with it if you didn't. Just the idea of like the fish swarm, and you get the cinematic of just like it's dark from the sheer number of fish running, like just swimming past you, and it's like what's caused it, and then if you're unlucky, milky white.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna add a bit of flavor. Just as quickly as the fish come, they disappear. The water becomes unnaturally still. And then if there's milky white, he's just there.
Did you accidentally add a new
I did.
row?
I did. Hang on, let me just delete this. Delete row. There we go. So a huge school of fish suddenly appear as if trying to escape from something. Their numbers block out the light and the surrounding terrain. If players are floating, then they even block out the ground, isolating each person from one another. Something dangerous is approaching. Add 2 to the milky white table. Just as quickly as the fish come, they disappear. The water becomes unnaturally still. I'm very proud of that description.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I like it too.
What do you want to do for 86 to 90?
So, I'm not too sure. Like, part of me was like, maybe some unique creature that we haven't seen before. I kind of want to be like 100 just by itself is something.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely want to do that. I kind of want to have at least 1, maybe 2 more encounters as something not really dangerous, just something random that they find.
Yeah. Something dangerous. Well, something random, right?
Yeah.
I think it could be cool just to have. How about an actual treasure that's not dangerous this time?
Yep, and
it's just random loot.
The players can find it, but they can't. Obviously, like if they roll on this table result again, we just get the players to re-roll, sort of thing.
Oh, and I know another one.
Oh, what are you thinking of?
They see a lone golem slowly just walk.
Ooh.
Because we have like a couple of, the Salvage Titan still exists. There's the merchant in the marketplace. To be like, yeah, you just see a small golem slowly move throughout the sunken city.
Moves through the sunken city, kicking up dust, looking for treasure. What's the stats for a normal Warforged? Like a
if it's a normal Warforged, do I have one in?
Like even if it's just called a Warforged, like fighter or soldier or something like that, we'll just use the stats for that.
I do not have it just base in Roll20. Give me a second. I'm going to have to go searching.
That's okay. Even just a goal. What CR are normal golems usually?
A clay golem is like CR5. A stone golem's like 11 or something like that. 9, I think, maybe actually.
Oh, that's a bit tough for players right now.
Let's see. Okay, a base Warforged. Yep. The Warforged soldier is CR1.
Okay, that's good. In that case, I'll say the golem is harmless. But can be provoked into fighting if attacked. Use the stat block of a Warforged soldier. Okay, there we go. So
And I'll quickly just stat block one of those up.
295. Rusting parts. Slowly moves through the sunken city, kicking up dust, looking for treasure. The golem is harmless, but can be provoked into fighting if attacked. Oh, yes, you know what? Looking for treasure. It has a sack. Has a old sack with small holes and something shiny poking out of it. If attacked, or if the players try to take its treasure. Salvage. Okay. The sack contains... okay, I just literally saw this before. So... so wage 130 something. I don't want to give it art stuff. I want to give him like gemstones, basically.
Yep.
Or... oh, those are singular gemstones. Never mind. In that case... okay, contains gemstones of various types and quality. That can be sold for, let's say...
well, you could go just like the 10 GP each.
Sack of gemstones of various types that can be sold for 10 GP each. Contains...
and then just... yeah.
1d6 gemstones then?
1d6? How about 2d6?
2t. Okay. Contains mostly shiny but worthless rocks and 2d6 gemstones of various types that can be sold for 10 GP each. There we go.
Yep.
So you just got this random random golem walking around with a bag of shiny stuff. And players can potentially get 120 gemstones worth of gold out of it. Alright, so you were thinking about something else for 91 to 95?
Like, I was going to say just like you find treasure, but we've kind of combined the treasure with the golem.
I do want them to find treasure, but I want to make it harder than just essentially a like 5% chance. So maybe we save that for like the last parts of this table for sure. What are we thinking for 91 to 95?
We've done some really good like environmental stuff. I kind of want another. I mean, even the golem's like a creature encounter. I think it should be something.
Ooh! I have an idea suddenly.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I'm just gonna quickly go back to the sunken city of Kraken's Pearl. In the foyer, let me just double check. Did we had the little box? Did we say that there was no key for it? Or okay, hang on. Box. Find a metal box in surprisingly good condition. It's airtight. Yes. Okay, in condition, but there's no key. Alright, so yada yada. Yes. Players find a shiny silver key in okay, wait, a shiny well carved key made of silver, inscribed with flowing lines that make it. Wait, okay. A well carved and ornate silver key. This opens the box, the locked box in the lifeguard tower. The one that happens to have the Tome of Understanding in it.
Yep. So find the key randomly. It'd be cool if it'd be interesting to see someone find the key first, then find the box, and then immediately ruin their treasure.
I know, right?
Yep.
Oh, and imagine if they managed to open the box after a bunch of time and then find the key.
Yep. Okay, no, I liked it. That was a really good kind of callback.
Okay, so
and our little Warforged soldier is built. Do you want me to rename him to like Kraken's Pearl, like Salvage Golem or something?
Yeah. No, we already have a. Oh, yes, Salvage Golem. Yes.
Yeah,
because we've already
Salvage Titan.
Yeah, we've got
Salvage. Yeah, I'll just call him Salvage Golem.
So we do want like, I think 96 to 99. We do something dangerous. Like, do we just want to say Milky White just turns up?
Yeah.
What are the stats for Milky White, by the way? Like, what's his stealth?
Milky White is using the giant shark stat block. So his stealth is +0.
Do we want to give him a custom stealth by any chance? Because he's like Milky White.
Do we want to? That is a good question.
Like, we don't have to make him like as good as the giant octopus. Make me naked like +3 stealth. So it is potential that he can get people if they're really off guard. But otherwise,
I like the idea that you can notice him from far away, which is good because he is faster than you.
Oh, Milky White appears in the distance, and he is coming for you. Reset the Milky White count. Okay.
Because Milky White uses the giant shark stat block.
Oh yeah.
Which is terrifying underwater. Like,
what's the CR for it?
CR5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is a proper boss fight for the players then.
Yeah, it's a boss fight, and he has the terrain advantage.
Okay. If Milky White has already been slain, then a reroll on this table at advantage. I'm just gonna put a note here. Note: Milky White does not recover HP in between encounters like normal. Instead, it heals 1d4 HP whenever the players have a short rest. and let's say 2d6 on a long rest. And I also will mention add an additional 1 to the roll every time the party has a short rest. And 2 for long rest. So basically, the more players rest, the more likely they're also going to run into the shark.
Yep.
So Milky White.
Oh.
Yeah?
Also, it should be 10 plus, not just 10.
10 plus. Oh, that's a good point. Yes.
Because you could get a result that's higher than 10.
Absolutely. Do we want to give... Actually, you know what?
Milky White does have a reward. He drops a helmet.
Oh, not that. Not that. 10 to 15. And I'm going to do something here. 16 plus. And I think you're going to enjoy this, what I'm about to do. Milky White is so blood-lusted that not only do they appear, but they roll a natural 20 for their initiative.
Ooh.
How do you like them apples?
Terrifying. So something else we might want to consider. I don't know if it's been brought up yet. Is like, how does one not fight Milky White should he appear?
Well,
Giant old brown shark. The rest and everything fears it. Is it just hiding from him?
yes, just don't forget Milky White is also blind, so players can't hide from them. And don't forget, like, Milky White can't, like, roll on this every time the random encounters table is rolled. So in theory, they could roll it when they roll 56 to 60, 6 giant crabs block the way. So Milky White could get distracted with them, for example. Milky White could get distracted with the lone golem. You get the idea.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. And now 100.
What did you have a thought? Like, do you want to make this the treasure?
Like 100 for some sort of cool treasure?
Like, I want to make it situational because I don't want, like, I don't want that situation in, like, a adventure module where players will sort of, like, and they shouldn't be metagaming in the first place, but I don't want them metagaming going, alright, we have to keep rolling on the random encounter table until we hit 100, sort of thing.
Well, they don't even, like, realistically, they shouldn't even know that there is a
table,
100 result, right?
No, generally, like, ideally.
Because because the DM would be the one rolling on the table.
Sure, but, like, players who read the adventure, like, people can read ahead on, like, the Curse of Strahd, for example, but, like, I know it's unfortunate, and they shouldn't be doing this sort of thing, but we can't deny that it does happen sometimes. So while I do want it to be useful, I don't want it to be people going, this is a unique thing that we have to get no matter what.
Yeah, so no, like, Belt of Giant strength.
No, nothing that amazing. Maybe something... Oh, hang on. So, I'm going to go back to the Sunken City of Kraken's Pearl. Document. And I'm going to go back to, let's see, the temple. Here we go. Let's see, the foyer. Okay. Damaged stone branches. There's huge statue. They see murals to know that it's a salvaged titan, albeit in poor condition. Milky White refused to enter the foyer. Yep. On the altars is a bunch of stuff. Okay. The Titans believe they are visitors / pilgrims. Okay. Players find an oddly well preserved set of holy vestments. Boom. It's
So one could potentially use them as magical robes, but also one could use it to just bypass the Salvage Titan fight.
yeah, and take all the stuff on the altar. Faded symbols seem to match what's on. Wait, its faded symbols potentially matches what's on the temple. It's like, still won't tell them what it is, but it's like, oh, it looks similar. And okay, there we go. Let's have a look, see, yada yada yada. And I'm just going to make a note in the temple. If one of the players is wearing the... You know what? I'm going to quotation mark this. Oddly well preserved set of holy vestments. I'm going to italicize it. Control C. If one of the players is wearing the oddly well preserved set of, they can take all the loot without triggering the Salvage Titan. There we go. And you know what? I'm going to put that on the unique item list.
Yep.
Notable items. Okay. Okay, oddly well-preserved set of holy vestments found randomly in Kraken's Pearl. Okay, wait, actually no. Found in Kraken's Pearl random encounter table. And I'll say no effects. However,
Well, if it's perfectly preserved,
yep.
What if we just say it's self-cleaning?
Ooh, okay.
So it's nothing important.
Mm-mm.
It's nothing that's going to be a boost, but it explains why it's in pristine condition.
Okay, that's a good idea. Okay, so the Salvage Titan in the temple will not attack the wearer of these robes, of these vestments, even if it's attacked itself. So that's like a big thing. So the players probably will never find out about this effect. The vestments are self-cleaning, are magically self-cleaning. Do we want it to do anything else special? Or like, you know what? No. I specifically stated like...
I think that is fun enough.
Yeah. Oddly well-preserved set of holy vestments found in Kraken's Pearl random encounter table. So just randomly. So they found the vestments floating through the currents.
Yeah.
Like a loose piece. Like a loose leaf in the winds. There we go.
Yep. Basically, it would be robes, but it's armor of gleaming robes.
Yeah, just randomly out of nowhere, and you can use it to essentially bypass the Salvage Titan fight, which I feel has a lot of mechanics behind it already.
Oh, actually, there is one thing I think that would be useful for it.
Oh, what are we gonna put on the?
So if it's got holy symbols on it, right?
Yeah.
Or holy symbols can actually be built into armor.
Oh, so okay, so we want to say
I would say it can be used. This robe can be used as a holy symbol.
vestment. Yep.
Yep, this vestment can be used as a holy symbol. So that's like another. It's like once again, it's like you could just have your holy symbol on your shield or your armor proper, but it's like you can just wear these robes. They function as a holy symbol for the purposes of casting using a holy symbol.
I like that. It's like
it's another minor thing, but it's like cool.
vestment is magically self-cleaning. Can be used as a holy symbol, and the salvage temple will not attack the wearer of these vestments, even if it's attacked itself. Okay.
Yep.
Beautiful.
There we go. There's just like we added a little bit of special to it, but it's also like cool. It cleans itself, and it's a holy symbol. If I was already a cleric, I probably had one of those already.
It's like
yeah.
It's like there's no like unless players like use it specifically and take it to the temple, there's like they won't realize it does nothing. It's like it's a very niche and there's like it's very optional.
But that's a good kind of optional.
Okay, I think we've finished the random encounters table. 1 to
I'm happy
100.
with this.
I'm very happy with it too. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Actually, you know what? I want to do one more thing, and I'm going to insert it in between like one of the beginning ones. So it'll be, let's say, 25 to 31. So we'll change nothing is found. Oh. Why is it saved as a date? That's not good. Date. Is it data? Whatever. I will make it 1 to 24. Okay, 25 to 31. The currents flow favorably, sending favorably, and somehow you feel safer for it. Subtract 1 from the milky white table. So the idea is the current like flows away from milky white so it doesn't smell your scent essentially, or blood if you've got any. Actually, yep. Oh.
A note, roll a d10.
Yep. And ignore the additional 1 to the roll for each. Oh wait, actually no. And if any players are below half health, ignore that for the milky white table. There we go. So they still roll 1d10. But it's like it doesn't mean they are gonna avoid milky white. It just means it's a lot less likely.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna modify the milky white table one more time because I want to make it so that there is a grace period. Because like if they roll a 10 and they're really unlucky, they could just run into milky white instantly. So I'm gonna say 0 to 12, nothing happens. 13 to, let's say, 16, milky white appears. and then 17 plus. There we go. I know that's a whole lot of like nothing essentially, but what do you think of that?
Yeah. If we assume that there's a random encounter every time you move between location, then yeah, it means like you'll get to your first destination safely. Your second destination, probably safe. And then from then on out, Milky White is a threat. So it'll give you time to like describe, traveling between bubble to bubble, all that. You might have a fight, which you don't have to worry about Milky White just yet. So you learn underwater combat and stuff. Yeah, I think that'd be good.
And of course, like eventually they have to have short rests. They'll have to they might have someone below half health, and they'll add to it even quicker. And of course, then you have the quippers and stuff like that doing their thing. There are ways to increase the Milky White popping up essentially. Okay. I think we're sorted. I think that's our episode for tonight.
Yeah. Getting all the random encounters done. So now the first half of Kraken's Pearl, I think, is now officially complete.
Oh, yeah, we did it! Alright, everybody, my name is Freebywits. Thank you for watching, as always. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm your host, Freebywits, saying bye-bye.
Ciao!